Okay, to get started, you need material. So you can either go to, right now, I think Joann's is still open, or you can order it online, any type of material. You can even use pillowcases, any material you have at your home. So I got a half a yard of this, and that's plenty for a couple masks. So you want to lay that out flat, and then you're going to cut your squares about 8 by 9. 8 by 9. Cut those, and then once that's done, you need 2 of those, 2, in whatever material you decide. And then you also want to cut the same size. I use little filters for the middle, thicker material, and I just do any type of flannel is a thicker material that keeps away more dust. So with the coronavirus right now, helps prevent the spread of the virus. So any type of protection over your face is better than nothing. So we're going to put these together. And let me show you how to do this. Give me just a minute. For the straps for the mask, you want to cut probably like 2.5 inch like this, because then what we're going to be doing is ironing in this, folding this for straps. So you need 2 of these. So we will do the other one and get that ready. So you want, after you cut your square for your face mask, then you're going to put face to face together, pattern to pattern together. If you have a solid pattern, you don't have to worry about this, but if you have patterns, you want to put the pattern and pattern face down together, and then you want to put your filter on one of the sides. It really doesn't matter which side, like that. So you have your filter and then your face mask, and then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be sewing this side and this side of the mask. So then we're going to do that, and then I'm going to show you from there. But make sure when you sew it, you have face to face, and then the filter on either side. I always put it on the top to make sure it's easier. So now you have your material together, and you can pin it if you like. I'm not pinning it. I don't really, it's pretty small. I think it's fine. So just make sure it's lined up, and we're going to make a stitch down both sides of the material on the longer end, so the 9-inch length. So the longer length is where you're going to be going down, sewing down. So here we go. Okay, so here we go. As you can see, I can just keep kind of close to the edge, and then we'll finish this side. So now I'm doing the other side. I just did this side, and then I'm doing the other side now of the face mask, the longer end. I have both sides sewn, and I cut off the little end, and you want to reinforce the ends so they don't ravel or anything. And then what we're going to do, if I can video this right, is you're going to take, now you have these 3, you're going to take and you're going to turn it inside out, and I'll show you how to do that. And I'm doing this with one hand, so bear with me. You turn it on the right side. Mask is going to look like, so both sides sewn, and your filter in the middle. So there's that. Now we're going to go, and like I showed you earlier, we have our straps for the 2.5 about inch straps for the mask. So first we're going to go to the iron, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to iron this flat, and then we're going to fold it over to put a middle, so we'll know where the middle of the mask is going to be. And then we're also going to iron the straps and then sew those. So I'll show you that. Okay, so you see I just iron this down, see, in half, all the way down. Let me see. Okay, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to fold it next. In the middle, you're going to fold these in. See how I iron this down, and then all the way down, and just kind of hold it in like that. Just so when you fold it, it's going to be a perfect little fold for the strap. Now we're going to iron this. And why we're doing it with material is right now it's so difficult to get elastic, so you don't have to have elastic to make your mask. You can use the material. Then you can see this is ironed now, and look at how nicely, some material folds easier than others, but now we're going to take this and you're going to line it up, fold it in half, line it up, and then we're going to press where the middle is, because that's going to be the middle of your mask. So I'm just going to press that easily so we know. And then now we're going to line it up with our mask. So let me do that. You ready?
Yeah, it's going.
Okay, so after you iron the strap, then you have your material for your face mask. And then, like I said, the best thing is to fold it in half. So you pressed it, and then go ahead and get closer. You know? And then since the middle's here and the middle's here, you want to open it up and place the shorter side, because the side that is not sewn, you want to put it inside the strap and then fold it over. And then what we can do is you just pin. If you have pins, like the first week I didn't have pins. I mean, I'm not a sewer, so you just hook these together so it stays in the middle. Can you get the side, Ellie? Okay. And then hook this side. And then this is going to be one side of your mask. Now we're going to, once again, iron the other strap to the other side of the mask. And then once we do that, I'll show you what we're going to do. Okay, so now you do the other side. See how I fold it right in there? Make sure it's in the middle, and then we just pin it up. Okay, and then once you pin it, just so you hold it in place. Okay, and then so when you get to the end of the strap, when you are sewing it, make sure you're closer where you're getting both sides of the fold. And then once you get close to the mask, you want to, I always go over it. You want to pull out the pin, pull over it, and then I'm going to reinforce it here at the top. I'm going to go backwards. And then continue, and make sure you have the mask inside the fold, so you get closer to the bottom of the fold to make sure you're in there. Now we're doing the other side. You can see we did this side all the way down. Now we're doing the opposite side. Okay, so now that you have the top of your mask completed, sewn from the end of the strap all the way across and on both sides, and look how nice it looks. Now what you need to do, and we'll do a close-up of this, is you're going to fold your mask. You're going to do 3 folds. 1, 2, 3. Okay, do you see that? 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to pin this on the sides so it stays down just while we're going to sew it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. It's kind of hard. This is the hardest part of the whole mask. So let me get this side. Just to hold that while I do this one. And what I do is, 3 folds. That one's a little close, so I sew this one first, and then I realign this one up. So actually I just put a pin, I kind of hold it with my hands, it's kind of easier. And I put it in. Let's make sure those are folded right, because this is what's going to create the little mask part. So you drop, and this is very difficult to do on the sewing machine. So you just want to go slow so you don't break your needle. I've already broken a couple needles. So drop your, okay, so here we're going to start, and then I'm going to reinforce it. I'm going to back it up, and then kind of holding it in my hands and going slow because it is really thick on this side. Okay, because you're having to go over the 3 creases. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to get to the end. Can you see? And then we're going to reverse it again to reinforce it a little bit. I'm going to go forward again. And back it up. Okay. And then I'm going to head to the other side. I'm going to keep my needle in. I'm going to pull up on my foot and rotate it to reinforce this all the way around 2 times to make sure the mask stays nice and tight, and then when you wash it that it will stay intact. So let me go ahead and drop my foot down, and see how that is 3 folds, and I'm going to start going down the mask again. I kind of hold the folds with my hands. Can you see that, Elle? And go almost to the end because you want the mask pretty big. So you just want to make sure you're going over the mask. Okay, right there. I'm going to rotate this around and see, I'm going to go back over the area again. Final time around. And then I'm going to pull it up, bring my foot up. I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to cut those strings. Okay, so I'm going to cut all the strings in a minute, but you can see now.
You don't have to tie.
Nope.
The ends.
That's why you reinforce the ends. So then I'm not going to put my mask on it because this actually is for my dad. He's a big boater. My dad and Moda's mom. So I did the anchors for them, but I won't put my face on it. But you can see how this is where the face goes, and then you have the straps. Then go around. Actually, I'll get mine. Okay, so you see I just finished this one. I don't want to put it close to my mouth or anything because I'm going to be giving it to my parents. But this is mine. I've worn it a few times now. You can sell it. I've washed it a few times, but it has the straps. But it literally, you just tie it around tightly, and then around also your face so no germs get out. And you can go around again and tie it tightly. And what's great about these masks are I can talk. It has room in it where I can talk still, and I don't feel like, and it's soft, and it has a filter in it, and it doesn't have the elastic. The elastic sometimes is hard. So this is the mask that I make, and this one's going to be for my dad. And actually it's pretty reinforced, and I've already washed mine like 3 or 4 times. Every time I wear it, I then wash it, because you never know what can get on it when you're at the grocery store or the doctor or anything like that, or at the restaurant, anything, anywhere you go. So this is the great mask that was handmade by me. The last final thing I'm doing is I'm spraying these with disinfectant spray, 99%, to make sure that anything's on it, and then I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm putting it in plastic bags in the sun, and make sure all the germs and everything are off of it, and then leaving it in a plastic bag, and then I'm going to wait and then give them to anyone that needs them. Okay, so the mask has been sprayed and now been sitting in the sun, and then we're going to put in the plastic bag to make sure it doesn't get anything, any germs or any contamination. Okay guys, thanks for watching the video. Hope you learned all about how to make a homemade mask. If you have any questions or anything, just give me a holler and I'll be more than happy to help. Love you and stay safe. Mwah, mwah, mwah.